Welcome to our fourth video in our series of showing how to play Legends of Eisenwald step by step. In this particular video we are going to introduce the concept of battle in terms of what battle looks like in an actual battle screen, and we're just going to give some of our initial strategy and what we're thinking of. I'm not actually going to move units or do anything yet. That'll be the next video because I'm trying to explain the thought process behind how these battles work. Okay, so first of all, from the last video we had figured out how we're going to place our guys initially. That is an important thing. You need to understand that. If you don't, watch the previous video. So he's going to go charging forth, and now he's going to go after these fugitive peasants. And here's our three guys, just as we had planned, and this is how the enemy happened to place their units. Now, when we place our units, we have no idea how they're going to place theirs, and likewise. Now, we do have an advantage as a player where we could say, okay, look at what they did, and then we can reload from a save from the previous battle, but we could change around our placement to kind of be more optimal against how they're doing it. So in the case when you're fighting kind of a hard battle, you might consider doing that. It kind of takes a little bit away from the fun of the game. Okay, first thing to note inside this battle arena here, we cannot have any result by hitting the escape button. Normally escape button gives you the game menu, but when we're doing battle you get nothing. In fact, the only way out of this and to stop it and exit the game is you have to hit F3. F3 auto-completes the battle, where you may be victorious or you may not be. If you lose, then you have to load from a previous save, and if you're victorious you may take quite a bit of damage. Autocomplete tends to be a little worse than or more than worse than you doing it, because it's just kind of doing kind of a randomized kind of damage assign based somewhat on how things are placed. So not really the thing you want to depend upon. But if you know you are definitely outclassing the other guy and you don't want to go through the battle, you can definitely do autocomplete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load from previous time when I had things placed just like I did before. Now I'm going to charge again into battle. This time we're not going to autocomplete, and I'm going to describe a little bit of what's going on and how things are placed. Okay, first thing to notice is this concept of initiative. Initiative is seen in terms of the order in which units will go from top to bottom, and that's based off this property here. When you right click on a unit, you can see their the values they have for like defense, for health. In this case it's his spell power, and then everybody has this little flag by them which determines initiative. He has 16. This guy has 15, this guy has 15, this guy has 15. So these he'll go first, the next three will go next, and then these guys have lower initiative, so these three must go last. So that's how the order is determined here, and so that's the role that attribute plays. So you'll have equipment, you'll have abilities that will either help or hurt initiative. Like for instance, a crossbowman, he tends to have a initiative penalty because it takes some time to load up his little crossbow, so he always tends to go later in battle. Archers tend to be a little bit better with initiative, so they tend to go sooner. And your hero always tends to have a higher initiative, so he more often than not will tend to go first. Now, in terms of thinking about what we're going to do next, we have to look at what their abilities are and how these guys are positioned on the field. So I don't want to get too much into this next, that'll be the next video, but I do want to say that they all have these basic things. They all have the ability to wait until the end of the turn, so they can postpone their action or ability that they take into the end of the turn. So if I hit this, he would go down here and he would take his action after the other ones. Likewise, he could do that, and a magic caster, which he is, has the ability to hit this, which is the meditate button. He has spell power, which is this, so if he meditates he can regain spell power. Otherwise, when he casts a spell like this one, it costs 12 spell power, and once he's out of spell power he doesn't get to do anything. So that's kind of what limits him in terms of what he can do. So the magic users will tend to have to meditate once they run out of spell power. These guys of course don't have that. So anyway, that's just an initial overview of what these guys are and what this stuff here at least means These are the other abilities that each of them have, and then we'll discuss our actual strategy in terms of what we're going to do within this battle in the next video. Thanks for listening.